The first light of dawn stretches across the ocean like a golden sheet. And the hull of the fishing boat creaks gently as it rides the swells of the sea. Out here, where the water is endless and the sky brushes the horizon in brilliant hues, the hunt for tuna begins, not with haste, but with a deep, patient rhythm honed by generations of fishermen who know that nature works in her own time. Tuna fishing isn't simply a job, it's a craft, a calling. And a way of life that pulses with salt and sweat. These fish are not easily fooled. Powerful, swift, and instinctively wary, tuna demand both respect and cunning. On the deck, the crew moves with the ease of familiarity, their boots thudding against the warm wood, their hands deftly coiling lines and preparing lures. Conversations are few, spoken in gestures or low murmurs. The ocean demands attention, and every sound of the water might mean something. A splash in the distance. The shimmer of a dorsal fin. The sudden silence of the wind. Tuna fishing vessels vary in size. From modest wooden boats that hug coastal waters to towering steel ships that travel for days into the deep. Regardless of the vessel's size, the goal remains the same: to locate the elusive schools of tuna that travel in fluid, ever-changing patterns beneath the waves. Some boats use advanced sonar equipment and GPS tracking to locate the schools. While others rely on the seasoned instincts of captains who have sailed these waters for decades. The balance between technology and tradition is ever present. The bait used in tuna fishing is often a matter of debate and experience. Live bait, like sardines or mackerel, is sometimes preferred for its natural movement, while artificial lures, bright and erratic in their motion, are chosen for their ability to provoke a reaction from the tuna. Setting the lines is a ritual. Longlines. Sometimes stretching for miles, are prepared with care, each hook baited, each float placed with precision. In other methods like pole and line fishing, the crew readies short, sturdy rods and tosses bait into the water to stir up a frenzy. When the tuna bite, it becomes a test of strength and stamina. The moment a tuna strikes is unforgettable. The line snaps taut with a violent jolt. And suddenly, everything is in motion. The reel sings a high-pitched song of resistance. and the fisherman braces, muscles straining against the force of a creature forged in the deep. Tuna can reach speeds of up to 75 km per hour, and they don't give up easily. Every tug is a challenge. Every pull a gamble. Minutes stretch into half hours, sometimes more, as the fish tests the limits of human endurance. Landing a tuna is an art. Too much pressure, and the line might snap. Too little, and the fish escapes into the blue. When the fish finally breaks the surface, gleaming and thrashing, it's a moment of victory, but not celebration. There's work still to do. The fish must be brought aboard swiftly, stunned or killed quickly to preserve meat quality, then stored in ice or cold brine. Timing and temperature are crucial. The value of tuna, especially the prized bluefin, can depend on how fast and carefully it's handled after the catch. Out at sea, time warps. Days pass with the rhythm of the waves. Marked only by the position of the sun and the routines of the boat. Meals are simple: rice, fish, coffee brewed strong. Sleep comes in short bursts, often interrupted by a sudden change in weather or the sighting of a squall. The sea is never still. Storms rise without warning, lashing the vessel with wind and spray. On calmer days, the vast emptiness of the ocean feels almost sacred, as if the fishermen are temporary guests in a world that belongs to the tuna and the wind. Fishing for tuna demands resilience, not just of body, but of spirit. There are days when nothing bites, when the lines come back empty, and fuel dwindles as hope thins. The crew must choose whether to push further or head back. The captain, often a quiet, weathered figure with eyes like steel, makes the call. Leadership at sea is different from that on land. It's felt in silence, in confidence, in the ability to read clouds, currents. And the hearts of men. When a big catch is made, the mood on board shifts. There's relief, pride, even a cautious joy. But the work doesn't end there. The tuna must be gutted and cleaned quickly, then stored below deck in chilled compartments. On large commercial vessels, processing begins immediately. Every part of the fish is used or sold. For the most premium sashimi-grade tuna, meticulous care is taken, temperature checks, filleting with razor-sharp knives. packaging with precision. The journey back to port is a strange mixture of exhaustion and anticipation. The boat rides heavier with its load, and the crew moves a little slower. Thoughts turn to shore, family, rest, and the price the fish will fetch. Tuna can command high prices, especially at international markets in Japan or Europe. A single bluefin can be worth thousands, even tens of thousands, if it's large and pristine. But most tuna fishermen are not rich. Their livelihoods depend on consistency, not luck. One good trip can offset a bad month, but it doesn't guarantee the future. Back on land, the world feels slower. The steady roll of the ocean lingers in the legs, and the ears still echo with the hum of the engine and the cry of seabirds. As the boat docks, hands move quickly to unload the catch, sliding the massive fish onto scales and into crates with practiced speed. Buyers wait nearby, sharp-eyed and calculating. Each fish is inspected for color, fat content, firmness. A clean cut at the tail tells a story of freshness, of fight, of how well the fish was handled. For high-grade tuna, it's a moment of judgment that can determine the success of the voyage. At auctions, particularly in places like Tsukiji or Toyosu in Tokyo, the tension is thick. Bidders assess the fish in seconds, reading signs that only a trained eye can recognize. A slight variation in color or muscle texture can swing the price dramatically. For the fishermen who traveled days to land this catch, the result feels personal. It's not just about money, it's validation of their effort, their instincts, their endurance. But behind every big fish is a changing world. Tuna stocks are under pressure, and sustainability is no longer just a distant idea, it's a daily concern. Regulations tighten year by year. Quotas are imposed. Seasons are shortened. Gear is inspected. Many fishermen, especially those who have fished these waters for decades, feel the weight of these changes. Some see them as necessary, a painful but vital measure to protect the species for future generations. Others see bureaucracy, inefficiency, or unfair limitations. Yet no one denies the reality. Tuna fishing is not what it was 50 years ago, where once the seas teemed with fish. Now boats must travel farther, stay longer, and compete with massive industrial fleets that scoop up everything in their path. Small operators, traditional fishermen, and family-run boats find themselves squeezed between regulation and competition. Innovation helps: better equipment, faster refrigeration, improved communication, but it also raises costs. Still, many persist, driven by something deeper than profit. There is pride in the work. In mastering the sea, in bringing home fish that feed cities and countries. Young fishermen are rarer these days. But those who do enter the trade are often taught not just how to fish, but why. Stories are passed down alongside skills, stories of monstrous fish, sudden storms, hard decisions. These tales shape the soul of the trade. Sometimes, the fishing trip is more than routine, it becomes a saga. A crew might chase a school of tuna for hours. Guided by sonar blips and instinct, only to find the fish diving deep or vanishing entirely. Or they may hook a giant bluefin so massive that it takes 3 men to reel it in. The fight dragging into the night under a canopy of stars. Moments like these become legends, told and retold around harbor bars and in quiet hours aboard the next voyage. Some boats use purse seines, encircling entire schools with a massive net and drawing it closed like a drawstring bag. It's efficient and powerful, but controversial, especially when unintended species are caught. Others use trolling or pole and line methods, slower but selective, minimizing bycatch. In recent years, interest in sustainable methods has grown, both from consumers and within the industry. Certifications like MSC, Marine Stewardship Council, or traceability systems have emerged, offering hope that the future of tuna fishing might be not just profitable. But responsible. Living on a tuna boat is a test of more than fishing skill. It demands patience, discipline, and camaraderie. The men and women who make these trips form tight bonds, born of shared danger and long hours. They joke, argue, support each other, and grow quiet in moments of awe, when dolphins race alongside the bow, or the sea glows green at night with phosphorescence. It's a life outside the ordinary, marked by hard choices and rare beauty. The food on board is humble. Rice, noodles, canned meat, sometimes fresh fish caught during breaks. There's rarely luxury, but there's often generosity. Meals are shared, cooked in small galleys with swaying pots and laughter. Birthdays, holidays, even quiet victories like a good haul or a safe escape from a storm. These are marked in small but memorable ways. An extra egg in the soup. A bottle passed around after dinner. A song hummed into the night. In the wheelhouse, the captain charts the course with eyes on radar and weather forecasts. He listens to the VHF radio for chatter from other boats, hints, rumors, advice. A good captain knows when to push and when to pull back. He knows that the sea gives and takes with no warning. 1 hour you're pulling in tuna by the dozen, the next, the wind shifts.